Hey everyone, Maestro here. I am the football enthusiast. I hope you're all doing well. So real quick, as I'm sure you're probably already aware of, looking at the title and the thumbnail, this video is about Lionel Messi and his Inter Miami debut. You all know what happened before I say what happened. You all know what went down and why I'm making this video. But real quick, before I talk about exactly what went down, I didn't think I'd be making another video discussing Messi at club level. When he went into Miami, I assumed that the only time a video would come up where I would talk about Messi again in current times would be probably when the Ballon d'Or comes around, or when he goes for Argentina to the Copa America, or if maybe not, once again plays for the World Cup. That's what I thought was, after he went into Miami, I thought that would probably be the only time I'd talk about Messi. And I was sad at the time. But even when he's shipped off to the US, even when he's no longer in Europe playing in a lesser league, playing at Inter Miami, you still cannot ignore this man and his greatness. And there are two things I want to talk about today. The first thing is I want to recognize his greatness. And that's what we're going to do firstly. So if you don't know, whilst we were all asleep, Lionel Messi had his debut for Inter Miami. He came on in the 54th minute, and then in the 94th minute scored a fantastic free kick to win Inter Miami the game 2-1. It was a packed out stadium full of superstars, the American superstars. It was the first time watching Messi live in an Inter Miami shirt, and he also delivered. He delivered his greatness from the start. And so real quick, I didn't actually watch the match. I was far too tired. I tried to stay up, but I couldn't. I was far too tired. Just fell asleep. But I did read the reports, the analytics and stuff like that, and also just in general how he played. And apparently he played pretty well. He looked sharp. He looked ready to go. He looked raring. And yes, of course, the free kick. And just, yeah. Continuing on recognizing his greatness. Look, I was very upset when he went into Miami in the first place. My reasoning, I made a video about this, but my reasoning was that Messi, even now, is still I still think he's one of the 3 best players in the world. He could very well win the Ballon d'Or and crown himself as the best player in the world once again. So a player of that quality, no matter the age, a player of that quality going to the US, leaving Europe in general, not just going to the US, leaving Europe in general, European football, Champions League football, felt like a waste. I still stand by that. But even in my own personal protest, it's still beautiful, still fantastic to see things like this. I understand the opposition that is up against him. It's not much. But he's also playing for a team that's not much. And it's a different time, different place, with a lot of expectations. He delivered. In front of a star-studded audience, he delivered. And that, for me, is just... I want to recognize his greatness. He is still great. He will always be great. He is for me, greatest. It's fantastic. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is his mannerisms, the energy he was giving off. So let's rewind. When he played for Barcelona throughout his entire career, you could truly tell he loved that club with all his heart and soul. Many times he would kiss the badge. He tattooed the crest of Barcelona onto his body. He loves Barcelona with all his heart and soul, and it showed in his play. And the same goes for Argentina, even more so in fact. We all know how much Argentina, the country, Argentina, the national team, how much it meant to him. We all saw the amount of times he said that he would trade all of his trophies for a World Cup. We all saw what it meant to him when he finally got that World Cup and the Copa America. But when he went to PSG, look, I am not one of those guys that think Messi played bad for PSG. If you think that, that's ridiculous. He was amazing for PSG. Okay, now was he crisp Messi? Messi of old? No, but he was getting older, and he had a different role. He was still sublime. He was still unbelievable, one of the best players in the world, top 5, definitely. But he didn't look like he loved the game anymore. He looked like he didn't want to be there. And I was watching Messi's reaction to Inter Miami's first goal when he was on the bench. He looked more happier in that moment than he ever did at PSG. And in general, he looked more enthusiastic on the pitch than he ever did at PSG. And I think it's worth bringing up because, look, football is an entertainment sport. I am so thankful for Arsene Wenger and Arsenal because they give me so much love and entertainment. I'm thankful for players like Alexis Sanchez, Mesut Ozil, Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, but also outside Arsenal, I'm thankful for Cristiano Ronaldo, Andres Iniesta, Xavi Hernandez, Luka Modric, Eden Hazard, all these amazing players that play football at such a high level. It's so fun to watch. They entertain me so much. But I am no more thankful for them than I am for Lionel Messi. I am more thankful for him than anyone else because he has entertained me time and time again, and I'm happy. I was happy for him to win the World Cup, and I'm happy to see that he seems in love with the sport again. So you know what? Maybe if he look, going to Barcelona, it seemed like it was unrealistic financially, and if he went to a different European club, maybe he'd still be unhappy. So maybe him going to the US in the end was the right decision for him because he feels, he looks like he's in love with the game again, and that is great to see. Because there are stories of legends of the game that fall out of love with the sport, you know, and you'd hate to see that for Messi. When he went to Argentina, he was so ecstatic and up for it, and when he went back to PSG, he just looked deflated. He was still amazing. Once again, just to reiterate, he was still unbelievable. His quality was amazing, but his aura, his demeanor, the way he felt, the way he looked, it looked off. But he looks, once again, at Inter Miami, he looks at home. And for that reason, I'm happy for him. And it's also a lesson. A lesson in some, there are players that are playing terrible at certain clubs. They get their big moves, they don't perform. But it might not be because, they've been found out. No, it might be because the environment they're in isn't particularly great, and that can affect them. And that if you can still take it, like Havertz and Mount could be an example. Havertz and Mount, they've been bad for Chelsea for some time. They had high expectations and did not deliver. But maybe for them in this new environment, they can be happier. And if you're happier, maybe they can play better. So it's a lesson. But yeah, guys, that's the video. I just want to make this video just to recognize his greatness and talk about how it's great to see him falling in love with club football again. He was always in love with international football, but yeah, club football, it's great to see that he seems to be very ecstatic and raring to go again. And he's not here to just spend his last 4 years, make so much money and retire. He seems like he's here to take over. And that is great to see. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe for more. It greatly helps out the channel. You can find me at the Maestro Style. You can find me at the Maestro Style on all socials. Have a great day. And as always, take care of yourselves.